It's episode 100, and I thought it would be really cool to have a guest on, and who better than Mrs. F, my wife, the producer, the uh, the everything. You do everything. I like to go over weird holidays and things like that. However, yesterday was Veterans Day, so thank you to all the veterans that are out there who
Thank you.
serve our country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, today, all day is happy hour day, and I thought of anybody I know,
Happy.
you would
That's
appreciate it.
for real?
Yeah,
Me?
yeah. It's Frimp National French Dip Day.
Oh.
So maybe you could go have a French dip sandwich and a happy hour drink.
Where's a good French dip? Ooh, the fat, what's it called? Fat,
Oh, Fat Guys?
is it Fat Guys? Is
I think
that
it's
the name
called
of it?
Fat
Over by
Guys.
the high school?
Yeah,
Has anybody been to Fat Guys?
we we could go there. We could go there today.
I don't even want it.
We
I'm just not.
You and I have the freedom to do so.
Do we? Do we
Yes.
have, is the schedule open today?
Stop looking at your phone.
I'm looking at my calendar. I need to know. It's open. It's wide open except for lessons.
Or instead of a French dip, it is also National Pizza with Everything on It Day.
Well, we eat pizza way too much, so I'm going to skip that
Yeah,
celebration.
but the pizza that we get because we have children it's always pepperoni. It's nothing.
Well, except for when we go down the street.
Too
and we get
adventurous.
The train, was it called the train wreck? No.
No,
Train,
that's us. We're a train wreck.
the train.
Freight train.
Freight train.
That's what it's called. We're talking about Three Wood Pizza down at 5 Mile in Lake Hazel.
Yep.
If you've never been, it's awesome. It's
They have
awesome.
really good pizza.
So I mentioned last week that I was gonna go see my doctor. So here's your broken leg update.
Oh.
I was so excited to go see my doctor, and I got there and had another X-ray done, and they came back and said, "We need you to wait another month before you put weight on this leg before you can start walking." And I felt really down. I
Yeah.
felt pretty deflated
Yeah.
because I was
It was
really,
disappointing.
excuse me, I was really, really hoping to start walking again. So I've got to chase my walker around one more month. So my next appointment is December 5th.
I've had to make repairs to it.
Yeah.
Yesterday he shows me
Feet on
the
it.
feet on the back side because the front side has little wheels and the back side has these feet, and he's broken the feet.
Well, they're not broken. They're just worn
broken.
through.
They're broken, and so I had to repair them.
They're plasticky, rubbery, protective ends that go on the.
I don't even know if they're more plastic than rubber. They're fairly hard.
This is more information than people want to know about a walker.
A little gaff tape and a little that stuff you put in your drawers, and boom, it's
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah, it's just got to survive until December 5th. Maybe a little beyond that.
Yeah,
But
you're probably gonna use it.
my leg doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's bending more and more. However, this last weekend I was up vertically quite a bit, and so the swelling really took off in my leg, which I hadn't had that much swelling for a while. So, yeah, it's just a bummer. So, but it is healing really well. We discovered there's a lot of stress fractures that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, another month to go.
Either they didn't show up in the other pictures, or we just didn't know to look, like, because
Yeah.
they were never pointed out to us.
They weren't. They weren't. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with my leg. So hopefully through the month of December, I'll be doing a lot of relearning how to walk. I so badly just want to take a step, but
Well, I asked her if you'd be playing drums in January. She says, "Oh yeah, December, January." I'm like, "December? You realize how close that is, right?"
well, I'm tentatively
He's
scheduled.
not allowed to push he can.
Yeah, no
He
resistance.
can do this without. Yeah, he can't push the pedal and then the beater and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah, all of that stuff interrupts our lives in a really bad way. So
yeah, 1 minute you're riding along in a scooter, next
the
thing
next minute you have a broken leg and you're in
And
the
you're in the
hospital for a
hospital.
week, a couple surgeries, and yeah, that was a lot to. That's all been discussed already, though.
I know, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mary Fisher.
Thank goodness there's only one. Actually, I have wished there was multiples of me so that
I don't,
you
because
could
that
go
would be a
do
lot of
that.
financial
You
commitment.
could go do that for me, and you could do that for me, and then I can just live.
And you could just live. Well, I got questions for you. Obviously, I would know the answers to those questions because...
Would you?
Well, I think. I would think. Maybe I will learn something new today. But for those out there
You
in
never
the
know.
land of social media and the rising popularity of my show...
I'm assuming. Can you guys hear us all okay? Because we're just assuming. Nobody's said, hey, we can't hear you.
I would assume they can hear
We,
us.
we have different.
Thomas Schuster is here. Good morning, Fred Fisher, and the
We
producer.
have a different microphone thing. I almost said microwave. See, I
Microwave.
told you. I'm still waking up.
The microwave.
Microwave.
Is that how they say it?
Who?
That one person. Who?
I don't know.
Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Too early for jokes.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who? I messed it up. Mary, as you know, or may not know, is a multi-instrumentalist, singer, recording engineer, mix engineer, mastering engineer. You're my wife. Yep, there's that. Good stuff. So
I'm a mother too.
she's a mom. We got four boys. Mary,
Fred.
what was your earliest exposure to music? And
Well,
stop looking at my notes.
I'm not. I can't read your chicken scratches. Really, I'm just
Good.
looking at it. My earliest exposure, like
Yeah. When did you
Well,
first become aware of music, or what was your first exposure to music? Like, were you a little baby? Were you a
Well,
kid in
my-
high school?
my parents were really involved in music, even when my mom was pregnant with me. So that's about as early as you get. Memories I can't like recall. But when my mom and my dad were married, my dad would teach voice lessons, and apparently I would sit outside the door while the students were inside struggling with a scale or something, and I'm like, no, this is how it goes, and then they're like, Mary, you gotta go upstairs. I have no memory of that, but I do remember that they had people coming in and out of the house. And so when I was little, we lived in New York, and I remember taking violin in second and third grade. In second grade, I
did not know that.
At second grade, I was in.
See, I'm
Yes,
learning something
and
new already.
I'll tell you why I took violin, because we were at a friend's house, and they had one of those little tiny, like the tiniest violin you can get for your kid. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I was like, I want to play that. And so in second grade, you could start playing violin where I lived. And I did that. It was at Roosevelt School. And then when I switched to Claremont School, the school systems were weird there. Like everybody went to a school for that grade. So like all the first graders went to one school, and all the second graders and third graders went to another school. So, but they were closing down that school, so I had to transfer. Anyway, long story short, violin, second and third grade. Third grade, I blew it off. I don't know why. I couldn't remember to bring my violin to school, and then when I did, I'd forget to leave the actual classroom to go to the class, because you had to do that on your own. Like, 9:30, it's time for music class, and like only the kids that were doing it would leave, so I'd forget. Then we moved here, and I started doing band in 5th grade. I played the flute through 9th grade into 10th. Made cheerleader. They made me quit band. And that's kind of where things started fizzling. But I never sang. I always wanted to sing in choir when we lived in New York. The church had a choir for kids, and I always wanted to do that. And for whatever reason, I think my mom said that they practiced during the day, and of course she was at work, so there was no way to get me. Our church was 45 minutes away, so there was no way to get me over there. So that was it.
So when you became a cheerleader, that's when you stopped playing music?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what grade was that?
10th grade.
10th grade.
Yeah. Sophomore year. Yeah.
When
I would have kept going. If they would have let me do band, I would have kept doing it.
but it was conflicting with
they decided it was a conflict, because how can you be with the band and with the cheerleaders at the same time? I don't know. It was a new rule that year because they allowed it before. So.
But then you became the mascot at Bora High School.
Yes, I was the mascot.
Was that just your senior year?
Yeah.
Were you the most popular mascot ever at Bora?
I don't know about that, but I did have a lot of fun with it. And in previous years, the mascot tended to be like they steered more towards being like a cheerleader, and I steered more towards being a complete dork and trying to make people laugh. So that was my my motive. Yeah.
And it seemed to work.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of props. I had posters and all sorts of stuff. So it was cool.
So you started with the violin, then you moved to the flute, and then you stopped playing
then when
instruments.
I was in college at U of I, there was a community class for guitar, and I'd always wanted to play guitar. Okay, when I played flute in band, we had half the band in 7th grade were flute players, of course. And so Mr. Simon asked if some of us would switch to other instruments, and a few of the girls went to like French horn, and one of them went to the xylophone, and I was like, oh, I never thought about doing drums. I never thought about doing that. And so I asked my mom, she's like, no. Oh. So that was out. And then when I wanted to learn guitar, no, it'll deform your fingers. What? She said that about karate too. No, it'll deform your, because you're like, Argh.
I know a lot of guitar players that don't appear to have deformed fingers.
I know. I didn't know where she came up with that. So when I was at U of I, there was this community class for 8 weeks. It was like once or twice a week you go. And the guy he didn't even work out of a real book. He just had like these papers where he handwrote, here's what a chord is, and here's an A. And I remember learning A, D, and E, and I may have learned G. I think I learned G, and I would just, I don't know, I remember just flipping between A, E, and D over and over and over again, trying to get my fingers just to move, because that's kind of when you're not used to forming chords. You feel like your hand isn't part of your body anymore.
And what did your parents think of you trying to play guitar?
I don't know. Oh, I know where you're going with this.
We don't have to tell
Here I am, I just told you I could barely switch between these chords, right? This is my fall semester, and I'm home for Christmas break, and Fleetwood Mac is playing on my stereo. And what's that song called?
Well, I don't know which song.
The one that we were...
The one?
The one with
Landslide?
The guitar. No. Ooh, never going back again. That one. Maybe that's the title. I can't remember. Anyway, it starts with this great, all this really cool... Well, it starts with the really cool acoustic guitar.
That, yeah. Singing into Google. You told me that you could just sing or hum some crummy thing into Google.
You can.
And
Have you ever done that? Have you guys ever done that? It's like,
let's try it. Let's try it right now. Let's see if Mary can figure out which Fleetwood Mac song she's talking about.
If that's the title, Never Going Back Again. See, I can't sing. It's too early.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
I don't know I can't hum it. Let's see if it comes up with it.
Oh,
Never Going Back Again, Fleetwood Mac.
There you go. So at any rate, that was playing in your room.
And and my mom walked past, and she stuck her head in the door. She's like, oh, you're really going to town on that song. I'm like, Mom, that's not me. Apparently she thought you could be like this expert guitar player in 8 weeks.
Well,
wow, I would have loved that.
She probably just thought you inherited all her gifts.
Maybe. Yeah, my mom was a singer. She also played piano, and she played saxophone and the harp. And if there's others, I can't remember. But she and my dad were both like opera singers and have degrees in voice. And they both went to Eastman School of Music to work on their masters. So she had a really incredible voice. She was a great singer, soprano.
Didn't she have perfect pitch?
Yeah, she's got perfect pitch. Yeah.
I remember your dad telling me that he would get so mad, not mad at her specifically, but
Frustrated.
because he had to work really hard.
They all had to work really
like
hard.
everybody in the school had to work really hard, and your mom would just be like so
It was effortless.
carefree and effortless. Like she didn't have to work very hard to be as great as she was as a singer.
I don't know.
It feels like we're talking about her in past tense. She's still alive.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, she just doesn't sing anymore. She's
No,
80, gonna be 84 next month. So
Yeah. What was the first record you had?
There were probably
Legally.
Back then, the only way I could get one is legally. Well, I had like the child type records like Disco Mickey Mouse and that kind of stuff. But the first one that I remember like wanting to have was Grease. And I got that. And
How did you get that?
Wow.
How did you get?
How did I get the Grease
How did you get
album?
the soundtrack to Grease? Because you loved it so much.
I loved it so much. My kindergarten teacher had a coupon for $5 off.
Whoa.
And she gave it to me. And we went down to the record store down the street from the daycare that I went to, and we bought it. And I played it to death. You're thinking of a different story that involved a book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang it. I thought the story was that you stole that record and you had and your mom made you take it back.
Nope.
What did you steal? You
It
little
was the-
New York thief.
Oh my gosh.
You could take the girl out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of the girl.
Okay,
She's all giggly and laughy, but when you really get to know her, the New York side of Mary comes out.
I think I was in first grade. There was a little book that came out that looked kind of like it was like, it was just a small book, but it was, how they would have them designed like comic books, but they were clips from the movies, and so then the text would be like in bubbles.
Yeah.
And I just had to have it, and I didn't know that she had
Was it
grabbed
the Grease book?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
for Grease. But she had grabbed a copy to buy me, and I didn't know it, and I was like, "Mom, please," and she's like, "No," and I took it. And,
I took it.
and then I got in big trouble like a week later when she found it.
How did she
And then I had to take it
discover
back.
that you stole
Why is
this
this
book?
important?
Well,
This
I just
has
think it's
nothing to-
interesting.
Well, I was in dance class, and I had this special, I don't know if they still make these dance bags. It was like a box, and the top part is where you'd put like your leotard and stuff, and there was a compartment underneath where you'd put in your dance shoes. And I had it shoved in with my dance shoes. And we got to dance class, and she wanted to do my hair. She was supposed to put my hair up in a ponytail or a bun or something. And she discovered it, and she's like, "Did you get this off my desk?" And I was like, "No." And then it occurred to her, she's like, "Oh no, there's 2 copies in the house." So she called the store manager, and she was like so distraught. She acted like I was going to go to jail. Can you imagine a first grader? Yeah. She had me so freaked out, and I had to go back, and I am sobbing to the manager in the store.
Was that the end of your
never do it
criminal activity?
Yes and no. Because at that point I had taken a few other things too.
Oh.
But I didn't do it again after I got caught with the Grease book. Yeah. So.
Well, good. I'm sorry. I thought it was the record that you'd stolen, but it was
no.
So
that would have been a lot harder to steal.
So
Fred.
it was still Grease related.
Yes.
Yes.
Grease related.
It was definitely Grease related.
Sorry.
So how did you get started actually singing? Like when what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
At what age did you take a real interest in singing, or did you always have an interest in singing?
I've always loved to sing, but I would never sing in front of people. No way.
Well, that certainly has changed, but when did you discover that you liked it and that maybe you could sing in front of people? Like, when did that come about? How did that come about?
I know in high school I wanted to. Like, we would start hanging out, go on to Brass Lamp Pizza, and that's where MOD would play. MOD from the local group Methods of Dance. They were like the hottest thing in town. Um, and my favorite band at the time, thanks, Michelle. My favorite band at the time was U2. I was a die-hard U2 fan, and everything was U2. And I think I just was inspired by Bono. I don't know, but I loved Whitney Houston back then. Bono, NXS, Depeche Mode. Those were my favorite bands in high school. So I don't know. My uncle loaned me his keyboard for a while, and I tried monkeying around with that. And but it's like you're busy working a job and going to school and all that. I didn't get much time to really screw around with it, but yeah, I think I had mentioned it once to a friend that I was interested. I was like, I want to be in a band, and then they laughed at me because they'd never heard me sing, and so
Well, we'll get you down.
then that was really discouraging. So I was like, oh, they're gonna think I'm bad, so never mind.
Wait a second. So you told a friend that you wanted to be in a band, and they laughed at you?
Yeah.
Why did they laugh at you?
I have no. I'm assuming because they thought I couldn't sing, but they'd never heard me even try. So I don't know. Maybe I was bad. I don't know. I have no idea.
So
I never sang in front of anybody, so I don't know how he.
Thomas just commented. He said, "Have you ever had stage fright, and how did you overcome it?" So maybe does this tie into like you getting started singing, or do you have stage fright now?
Not the way I did it. So the first time,
or is it more nerves?
So the very first time I actually sang in front of anybody was our wedding when we did karaoke.
Oh yes.
And that was like
that was the first time I sang in front of anybody.
I was peer pressured into singing a song from Greece with Fred, the whatever song that was. What song was that?
I don't know. Why can't I think of that?
Summer Nights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Summer
Summer Lovin'. Yeah.
Summer Lovin'.
Had me a blast.
Yeah.
And then I was I thought I was alone at the house, at the apartment, and I was singing in the shower, and Fred was home, and he heard me singing, and he's like, "Wah!" And
I didn't
you
make
made
that sound.
You made a big deal about it, and my mom was singing in a choir at church, and the choir director lady, Connie, was, from 7th grade on, she was hounding me to be in this choir with them. And I was like, no.
Your mom was hounding you?
No, Connie.
Oh.
And I'm like, nope, I don't like to sing that kind of music. That's not me. I'm like, no, it's got to be rock and roll or pop, or it cannot be church music. It cannot be like classical. Like, nope. So anyway, somehow I got talked into, that was in 97. So I was well into my 20s.
Well, I
got talked into joining that women's choir. And we did, I don't know if it was like a year or two into me doing that. And I was terrified even just to sing in front of people. Like, I sang alto. I sang the lowest part you could sing, hoping that people wouldn't hear me. But I did like the alto part. And then she ended up, after a while, she switched me to soprano. But I would be scared of people hearing me sing because I didn't know how to read music vocally. I didn't know how to, I just sang. I didn't know how to switch, the do re mi thing never worked for me. I was like, I don't know, that doesn't make sense. And so I never really learned how to sing from reading music. I would know that I'm going up here and I'm going down here, but I don't know by how much. I went looking at the music, so it was a struggle. But I tried to remember as much as I could from playing flute. But we did this variety show, and you just picked a song, and I did this song from I can't believe I sang this in church.
A song from the Dick Tracy movie.
A song by Madonna from the Dick Tracy movie. But it was a variety show, so it could be anything you wanted. And so I sang that, and that was the first time I sang by myself. I had Fred and Stymie and my mom were my band.
Yeah.
Even Stymie was nervous because it was so out of his element.
It was way
out of his wheelhouse.
Well, God bless Stymie, because he
was such a trooper for doing that, and he did a great job, of course, because he's a perfectionist. He's so good. But I was terrified. I was so scared. I remember just sitting on the stairs, just sucking down water as fast as I could, because as soon as I stopped drinking, my mouth would dry out because I was so nervous. And so I probably drank a gallon of water waiting for my turn to go sing. And then I kept singing with the women's group, and then they were like, well, why don't you join the choir, the church choir? Because the women's choir was a community choir that just met at our church. So I joined the church choir too, and I had fun with that. And then they would ask me like, well, for first service, I didn't have the choir. They just would have like a quartet or something. Next thing you know, I'm singing with these quartets. I'm like, oh great, now they're really gonna see that I can't read music very well. But it kind of, it just shoves you into this situation of having to figure it out, and so it was good. It was growth, right?
Did you say growth or gross?
Growth.
Okay.
Could have been gross, I guess.
Well, it's true. When so my first time hearing you sing was when we did the karaoke thing at our wedding reception. And then I don't think I ever thought anything more about that until, because we rented an apartment when we first were married, and I heard her singing in the shower, and I was blown away. I've mentioned before, like, my pursuit of being a full-time drummer, a professional drummer, playing with Midline and whoever else I ended up playing with, can appear or actually be a very selfish thing, because I'm just thinking about myself all the time. I'm not. It's true. To a certain degree. I have this thing that I'm doing. It's a me. I'm thinking about me. So when I heard Mary sing in the shower, it really took me by surprise, and I thought it was really great. I opened the door, and
what was that?
And I was just,
oh no!
I had to quiz her about it, because it really took me by surprise. I thought it was really cool, and so then you got involved with the choir stuff, and it just kept going from there.
Yeah, and so to answer your question, Thomas, so I remember sitting with that quartet, and the way and this was at Whitney Methodist, where I grew up going to church, and the way they had the choir loft, I guess, set up, the chairs were facing the congregation. So you're basically just right behind the pastor, staring down the congregation. Like everybody, like you don't want to, like you can't, you've got to be really careful. Don't scratch your nose. Like, everybody's watching you because you're right there. And so I remember being so nervous. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. None of these people care if I make a mistake. None of these people care if I'm not perfect. And they just loved it anyway. And so I remember just saying a prayer, God, please take this fear away from me, because like, this is stupid. It's not about me. And it worked. And it went away. Now, do I get nervous sometimes? I do, but not because I'm singing in front of people. It's more because maybe there's a song that I'm still learning, or I haven't really mastered it yet, like to memory, and so I'll get nervous about things like that, but not like, I have too much fun with my band. We have a lot of fun. I don't know, when we played the Sapphire Room though, that kind of freaked me out, because it was out of our element for our band the first time we did that, and so that was kind of a weird experience. The first set I was a little bit out of sorts. Came back and was more relaxed, but
How did you end up being a singer in Casio Dreams?
I'm not quite sure about that.
So let everybody. So, what is Casio Dreams?
Oh, I figured everybody knew. So Casio, AB band. So Casio Dreams, 80s band. We're mostly like synth pop. We have a couple like more rock songs that we do, but for the most part synth pop. That's where the Casio comes in. But I think you knew Jeff first, right?
Jeff Poole.
Yeah, Jeff Poole. He's the drummer and founder of the band, manager of the year. Jeff, yes.
Manager of the year.
I made him a button that says manager of the year.
Oh wow.
So he works really hard. He does a really good job. So he does a great job.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know if he heard me singing on a video from church or something. I have no idea, but he had just made a post on Facebook. Hey, I'm thinking about starting an 80s band. Would anybody be interested? I'm like, me? My favorite music.
Yeah.
And like he said okay, and I was surprised. I didn't have to audition or anything, so we just assembled
How many years have you been the singer in Casio Dreams?
since 2018.
2018.
So is that 6 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 6.5. We started practicing in February of 2018. So
What would you say is your favorite musical moment?
my favorite musical moment.
Yeah.
Is there one that I'm forgetting that?
Well, I don't know.
Um,
I'm the one asking the questions here.
I think my favorite gig. I've got two that I really like. They're both from the Knitting Factory, and the first one was I call it the DeLorean gig because it was actually a private party for a healthcare company, and they brought in a Marty McFly and a Doc, and a DeLorean that looked exactly like the one in the movie, and it was a lot of fun. It was a really fun gig, and then when we did the prom, that gig was a lot of fun too. Just I don't know, like when you're performing and the audience is like really into it and they just love it, then there's this energy that comes from that it's indescribable unless you feel it as an audience member, when you're at a great concert and everybody's into it, and just that energy that comes from that, it's just really amazing. But when you're on the stage and it's coming at you, it's a little different, and it's pretty cool. I imagine the football players must feel that way.
I wouldn't say it's a little different. It's a lot different. It's a lot different being on the other side of the fence. Sorry, I got to move my leg around. It gets really crampy. So Michelle, I'll come back to Thomas's question, but Michelle says, what is your favorite song to sing in any genre?
My favorite song to sing? Ooh.
Wow.
Well, I do sing a lot of 80s, and I love 80s music, but that doesn't necessarily mean that my favorite song is in our set list. I do really like Sarah McLachlan a lot. I love Alanis Morissette. Who else do I listen to a lot? Adele. I think I think I just go through cycles of what's my favorite song. So probably my favorite song right now would be by Sarah McLachlan. You Do What You Have to Do, I think is my favorite one right now. But I love that. I think it's Mirrorball live album.
Well, that might be your
good.
favorite song that you're listening to, but Michelle says, what is your favorite song to sing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
To sing, yeah.
I
just love that song.
I just felt like her
singing.
question was more directed like when you're performing live. Because you're not performing.
Well, she said any genre.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll sing it live someday.
Okay, I think Jody has a really good question.
Embarrassing moment.
Most embarrassing moment.
Performing or just in general?
I think performing. I'm sitting right here. That could be embarrassing.
I had one in high school that was pretty good when I was working at the movie theater. And oddly enough, the next one is like the same kind of incident. It's like the same thing happened. So when I was in high school, I was working in a movie theater. Okay, all right. So
Jody says performing.
All right. Well, let me tell the high school one first, because then it'll make the other one funny also. When I was in high school, I worked at this movie theater at the mall that's now PetSmart. It was called Cineplex Odeon.
Yeah.
It was a town square theater, six cinemas, and
That's where we met.
But I was there when it opened, and we had these horrible purple skirts, these pink see-through shirts. They were terrible. This bright fuchsia bow tie, and these purple
the uniforms were
polyester skirts that were like a wraparound design, so that you would just get like a general size, and then you it was sewn together, but it was really big, so you still had to wrap it around. And we would sometimes we would wear shorts underneath just because we wanted to take the skirts off at the end of the night when we were closing. But then Sharon's like, no more shorts. And so I should have just kept wearing the shorts. There was one night, it was a Friday or a Saturday night, so it was really busy, and I'm standing and these ties were known to kind of loosen. and so you had to always be checking the tie of the waistband of these skirts. And apparently mine had loosened and my skirt was hanging around my hips. And I didn't realize it. And I'm standing, and I guess it happened kind of fast. And I'm standing at the popcorn popper with my back to this huge crowd of people behind me going, oh no. And the girl stands next to me. She goes, just hurry and fix it. Act like nothing's happening. It's like, okay. But obviously it was noticeable because she saw.
So then
my
your
embarrassing
tush
moment,
was hanging out?
My tush was hanging out. No shorts. It was just my underwear. Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. And I didn't look anybody in the eye to see if maybe nobody paid attention, but she sure saw it.
I guarantee people saw it.
There's the potential for the real humiliation, right?
Right. If
so
you just pretend it didn't even happen.
Yeah, I know.
So Jody says
then,
performing.
Performing. This wasn't actually performing. This was leading up to a performance, and it was pretty recent. And it's kind of the same story. So we were playing at the Knitting Factory, and it was before the gig, and it was fairly quick before the gig, and somebody was in the bathroom that we get to use, and so I was like, I can't wait any longer, and so I went all the way back around, which is like literally like there's a door I think that separates the two bathrooms, so you can't go through it or something, or a wall, I don't know. Had to go all the way back around through the dance floor and into the main bathroom, and they didn't have a full length mirror. They just had, I had on like the Spanx and the fancy tights, and I had like two skirts on, and when I sat there and I messed with it, trying to make sure it was all down. And I got back, walked all the way back across the dance floor. Now there's a few people in there like that are just like working. It wasn't like the audience had walked in yet. But there were people that saw me walk across the dance floor and back into the green room. And as soon as I walked in the green room and saw the full-length mirror, I could see that my skirt was hiked up and like wrapped around itself. And I was furious because like, I just spent 5 minutes trying to make sure this whole thing was down. And there it was. And like, so there was my butt, and fortunately, I had tights on, but it was embarrassing. And so I just joke about it. I'm like, I was just trying to be sexy.
Well, you still weren't performing.
I wasn't performing.
So is there an embarrassing moment performing? Jody, I'm trying to get an answer for you.
Honestly, I don't know if I've had an embarrassing moment. Great. Now I'm setting myself up for one to happen.
Well, maybe. Good morning to you too,
there's
Tony.
Probably been mildly embarrassing things that I just blow off that I don't remember. But I mean, forgetting the lyrics is embarrassing. So
yeah.
But it happens. It happens. Adam and I don't use iPads. We don't have lyrics in front of us, so. You could be singing along and then all of a sudden glitch and the words are gone. You're like, what just happened? And we just laugh it off because there's nothing else you can do. Just get back on track and keep going.
So that kind of covers like your singing and what you're currently doing right now. And before I forget, if people haven't heard of Casio Dreams, how do they find Casio Dreams?
CasioDreams.com. It's not casino. It's Casio.
Casio, like
Casio
the keyboard.
watches, Casio keyboards, Casio, the 80s technology. And then we have Facebook, Casio Dreams, Instagram, Casio Dreams 80s, and we have a YouTube channel too.
Also Casio Dreams?
Should be, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So let's get into your profession as a recording engineer. How did that happen?
You made that happen.
I know.
Fault.
I know the answer. I know the answer to these questions, but
it's still
Chris
a
Housel
process.
is here.
Oh, hi, Chris. Speaking of recording stuff, I just finished an album for him a couple months ago for Idaho Fine Arts Academy.
Yes, we had
my first full length album.
What did we have? About 40 students from the school.
I think 34.
Here?
Something like that, 34.
I couldn't remember the number exactly.
Over 2 weekends.
Yeah, so we had a lot of high school kids here at our studio recording.
Man, my brain was fried by the end of the day. And I didn't get up much because you were the one running in and out and running cables and stuff. And
yeah,
and
I'm the studio monkey.
I just sat at my desk trying to keep my stuff organized and keep the songs organized. And
So try to tell us in just a few minutes how you became a recording engineer, a mix engineer, a producer.
Okay, the producer thing is not okay.
It's a little tongue in cheek, but
yeah,
but it's
during the shutdown and people not being able to play. Well, Cliff was able to play because he'd play in all the rural towns where they didn't care. They're like, nope, you're still playing.
Yeah, we did our thing.
But you guys would do, like, was it weekly that you did that? The little concert you'd play like 3 or 4 songs in here.
Well, we did a
few little Facebook Live things where they'd play a few songs, and I would fix them. They used to rehearse every Wednesdays, and I'd fix them dinner, and then they'd come out here and practice or do their live thing or whatever. And my room is just next door here, and so it just became kind of a joke when you're doing the live stream. Like, the producer said da 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 da. The producer told us yada yada.
Well, yes, but I mean, a producer's role in music is taking what the artist is doing and helping them realize their dream.
Sure.
And your ears are hearing something, and you're making decisions like, maybe you sing this note instead, or maybe the music goes this direction. Like, you're giving them some alternate ways of performing or doing something, and also able to pull a performance out of somebody, whether it's whatever the instrument they're playing or how they're singing.
Right.
And you're really, really patient with everybody. So, I mean, you are doing producer type things.
But not then. We didn't even
well,
have our equipment
I know, but
then.
I'm leading up. That's where we are now. How did you get started?
Fred builds this room for drum practice, for
Yes.
band practice, and then it just kept morphing into, well, I want to do this and I want to do that, and the next thing you know, we're putting money aside to buy recording equipment, and I want to build a control room over here. I'm like, well, how are you gonna control anything when you're playing the drums? It just didn't make sense, and so I said, well, I'll just do it. And so I just started learning all of that. And it was really, really hard at first because I just didn't know anything. I had a very vague, I knew what EQ was based on my little stereo with the 3, like the little, I don't know, 3 bands or whatever.
Bass, mid, and highs.
Yeah, I think my fancier stereo I got in the late 80s had a few, maybe had 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, and then you thought you were high society with that.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, you do.
You thought you were high.
You go from the
society.
You go from boombox to that. It's like it's a big step up. But yes. We had a hard time getting things set up. There was something weird with the PC and Studio One, and just trying to get sound to come out. It was, I don't know. It was James Lancaster who saved us, because I was well on my way to becoming an alcoholic that summer, because nothing was working, and I'd be like, that's it, and I'd spend 6 hours trying to figure out, click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this.
Well, to quote
James
Lancaster, which we still quote today, is you're just a click away.
One click away.
You're one click away.
Yeah.
We kind of live
probably 100
by
clicks
that.
away, but we finally got to that one click, and he figured it out, and I'm like, don't touch anything. Like, this stays exactly the way.
I remember when we first were able to record the kick drum and play it back and hear it, and that was like a huge victory.
Woo!
So how did you learn all of that stuff? What was the process of that?
I watched a lot of videos. And then I had a couple people help me out. Scott Walker helped me out a lot in the beginning. James Lancaster, Scott Alexander. Those are my three big teachers.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that, because I had so many questions that, like, you can't ask a video. Like, well, wait, but why are you doing that? Like, I don't understand, like, what that is. And just struggling to understand really what compression was and why you need it, and how to use it properly or appropriately or artistically. It's still kind of, there's, once you get to a certain point, then anything just kind of becomes artistic, I think. And then, your taste. But,
you've done a lot of mixes for Cliff.
I did some mixes for Cliff. I did a lot of recording for Cliff,
Yeah.
and then Scott Pergandy would do it, the mixes and stuff. And then I did an EP. I did, I guess, an EP for Cliff, and then a couple other songs, Everlong and Wichita Lineman. And then I did this last spring. I did the big IFA album. We had 12 songs. All very different because you've got 34 kids coming in, and they're all in, I think it was 12 bands,
Something
12
like that.
different versions of bands.
Yeah.
You'd have the same kids rotating in and out of these bands. So you'd have like, the one drummer would play on like 3 or 4 songs, and then, but he wasn't necessarily playing with the same musicians or singers each time. So that was an interesting project. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot I learned in that process.
A lot to manage. Yeah.
But it was a really good experience, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And then we've just had some other like onesie twosie people want just like one song here or there. Jared Anthony have done several covers for.
We've done a lot of collaboration covers that you've mixed, and in addition to the music side, well, before I forget, so we've recorded a lot of drums here.
Yeah, we did, and that's how, so that all got started because I wanted to learn how to use my software and just get better at doing recording and engineering and stuff. And so I said, what if we did a drum cover? And originally I thought once a month. It'll take me a month to get through a song, right? And then I said, I got really ballsy, I guess, and said, let's do one a week.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, did we just say that? Oh no. And then we committed to it, and we did one a week.
Yeah.
And the first probably 3 or 4 months, that was really hard. Because and we would start earlier. We would start like on Monday and record the stuff, and then I had all week to work on it until we
had a deadline
on
at Thursday at 4. And we did almost 2 years of that.
No, we did almost a year.
No.
Yes.
Longer than that.
No, almost a year.
This is where I'm going to smack her later.
Nope, you're wrong. No, we did it. We started in January, and then in November I had to go take care of my dad and my stepmom for the month.
Yeah,
and that's when you started doing Coffee with Fred.
Well, and then we got back to covers for a while. But Mark Gruber says the Cliff Miller recordings are stellar.
Thanks,
there you
Mark.
Go. The other thing is, so the new Midline songs, we recorded drums here for that, and then the other guys in the band have their home setups. I mean, James has a huge, nice, beautiful studio, and JB's got a studio set up.
It's hard to leave that room.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about current.
I brought my pillow, James. I'm staying.
Yeah. Once you're inside Jim and I's studios, it's like a tractor beam. It's like, but everybody's really respectful of everybody's time and whoever's studio you happen to be. We have FM studios here. James has Jim and I studios, but James values his time with the red one, and so when it's time to tap out and go, James starts looking at you like, I know my place is cool, but
you have to leave.
I want to use it by myself now.
It's been great, guys.
But no, so you've recorded drums for Midline, and we've been using Chris Collier to mix and master, and
he's amazing.
Chris is amazing.
So
he's done a bunch of stuff for Whitesnake, for Korn. He's really in with Ray Luzier and different projects Ray's been involved with, like with KXM. Flat Black is another band that's out there with Jason Hook, who used to be in Five Finger Death Punch, and that's just scratching the surface of what Chris is involved with. So when we had a mix Ghost, and then we had a mix Onward, then we had a mix Mailman, and each time Chris's feedback is how well the drums are recorded. So we know that we're getting really great source sounds.
Imagine if you had played the drums and not me. It probably would have been better.
Yeah. We're gonna run up against the time here in just a moment, but I wanted to ask you.
I'm like, do we answer all the questions? I got the embarrassing moment.
Well,
I got the stage fright.
One that Thomas said is basically, how come you and I aren't in a band together?
Oh, well, That's a good question.
It's a really good question, and people
you have to ask him that because I've always said, "Can't we do a band?"
People have brought that up from time to time. Well, one thing for me in the position I'm in, I haven't been like without a band doing something. Like I'm really heavily committed to Midline, obviously. I'm really heavily committed to Cliff Miller, and those are like my two main things.
Mm-hmm.
And with Cliff, especially performing and recording and all of that, minus having a broken leg, which has taken me out of the game for a while. I might be performing 60 to 70 shows a year with Cliff. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but that's there's a lot going on.
We did play in church together.
We did, yes.
For a long, long time.
So I think that if I was idle for a long period of time and had nothing going on, I would probably think about starting a new thing with Mary as the singer. But
we almost did.
We did.
We were really close.
Yep.
It was.
It was pre Casio Dreams. It was pre Cliff.
Was it pre COVID?
It was pre COVID.
Was it pre Casio Dreams?
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was before that or if it was. Yeah.
So that's been a while ago now. Yeah. But I think that's the biggest thing, Thomas, is that.
No, it wasn't pre Casio Dreams.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, I only remember because James and I had sung together. He was in the first Casio Dreams gig, and so that's why he knew he wanted to do it with me. So.
Yeah. So I mean, at least from my position, I've always got something going on.
Yeah.
And so if I wasn't involved with Midline or Cliff, or I had nothing going on as far as that goes, and building a band from scratch is a lot of work, and it requires a lot of time.
Yeah. Especially if it depends on what you're. Are you going to be like the cover band that plays for 3 hours a night? Because that's a lot of music to learn.
Yeah.
And you don't like just throw it together and like it takes a while to be good at it. So now if you're just doing like, oh yeah, we're just going to be like a concert band where we play like hour and a half tops. So that can come together a little faster, but
I think Trinette says, congratulations on your 100th episode. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Woohoo! Okay, I got two more questions, and I know we're going to be over just a little bit, but this is my first guest, and it's a pleasure to have the missus here.
Let me answer Jared's question real quick.
Where's Jared? Oh, there's Jared.
When did I? So Jared, I always feel like I could be better at what I'm doing. So to say when did I feel like I had a talent for it? I don't know. It's more like other people telling me I have it, but I love music so much that I just want something to sound good. And so I'll sit and monkey with stuff until I get it to where I feel like it's good. And then sometimes I'll look back and go, that wasn't where it should have been. But that's how you grow.
Well,
I think it sounds good at the time, and then it's like, oh, well, I could have done better on that one.
I think it's true of anything that you get involved with doing.
Practice, do it over and over again.
So I know that at least I'm fairly confident that Jared does woodwork, like trim work, and there's a talent in that. And I'm pretty sure Jared's probably pretty confident in what he does compared to where he was when he first did it. But with you, I believe and feel that you have a natural gift for music to begin with. You have really good ears. You hear certain things a certain way, in a positive way, and then you work on it. But I think for us, for you specifically, like the biggest two people that are really heavily involved with directing you would be Scott Alexander, for one. Is sending Scott a mix and saying, "What do you think of this?"
and I'm saying, "Keep working on that one."
But Scott is extremely honest with those. If you don't know who Scott Alexander is, he's the bass player for the band Dishwalla. He lives here in our area,
and he's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude, but he's been part of really great sounding stuff, not just with Dishwalla, but with other things.
He's done at least 2 collabs with me, right? He did.
Maybe even more. But what I'm getting at is that uh, Scott's experience in the studio, he's been able to pass a lot of that knowledge onto you in a way of thinking, and that's helped really shape
Yeah.
where you
And
start and
James.
where you go. And I,
James.
yeah, and I would
James
say
has spent the most time with me.
James has spent a lot of time with you. Uh,
James, can you listen to this? I can't figure out why this sounds this way, and
Yeah.
it's driving me crazy.
but that's really helped mold you and guide you to where you are today
Yeah.
with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a couple more questions I want to ask. I know we're over time, but we have amazing people watching this, and you know, and people have been after me for a long time to get Mary Fisher on the show because I've been talking about having guests. So now that I've had a guest, that means that's going to become a thing, right?
Sure.
um,
Just making sure Jude left.
I think that he did.
He did.
So, what, as a singer, and performing in a band and doing thing, what do you expect from the drummer?
You really want to know that?
I want to know. I want to know what you're thinking.
Well, the basis for singing is breath, right? So if the drummer is not consistent with his tempos, it really can screw a singer up. When the adrenaline's flowing and it's live, I guess it could be okay. But Jeff has always played with a click. You've always been really good with your time, whether you were with a click or not. Like in church, when you're playing with somebody who's not steady with their tempo, it can be really uncomfortable as a singer. And even like, as a instrumentalist, so like if you're playing I don't play solos and stuff on guitar, but even just for a guitar player who's trying to play a solo a certain way, and then all of a sudden it's like, I can't play it that fast, like, or why is this so slow, or why are we like going like this? So tempo is really important. I remember when I was working on guitar in the earlier days, and you'd be like, just play with authority.
Yeah.
Be intentional. Like, oh, yeah, okay. That was when I started playing in church, I was playing bass, and because there were already guitar players, and then so when I started guitar, I just would be fairly timid strumming it. And you're like, just play with authority. Okay.
Yeah, I think playing with intention is super important. And you mentioned tempo. Like, if you're playing with a drummer or a rhythm section, we can blame the drummer, because our job as a drummer is to
You're
keep
the
time,
timekeeper, yeah.
to keep steady, reliable time. But if you're not steady and reliable, that affects your breathing as a singer, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, you could be out of breath, or it affects the phrasing.
Yeah.
It's all about the breathing.
Yeah.
And then if that's not right, then what becomes wrong?
What becomes wrong?
Yeah, I was like, is it harder to sing on pitch?
Well, I mean, if you're singing faster than you're used to, I don't know. I sing. I practice so much that like, I can probably start the song on the right pitch, and I can, without any instrument. Like, I'm just so used to singing it that I know what it sounds like. And then like tempo wise too, like that felt weird, that felt fast, that felt slow, or whatever. But like I said, with Jeff, I don't have that problem because he plays to a click, and so we're all locked in.
Yeah, really consistent.
But I have, like in church, when other drummers have come and played, and you're starting a song that's supposed to be really slow, and it's unbearably slow, and that's how it's supposed to be, but then the drummer just can't handle how slow it's supposed to be and just keeps speeding up. When you get to the part of the song where you're supposed to be, where the words are actually coming faster, and then they're coming faster than they should because he's going, like 20 beats faster than he should. Then all of a sudden you're in trouble. Like, you just can't even get the words out. Like,
yeah,
it becomes a problem, and then they're having to back off, and then it's like, ooh, what's going on here?
Well, I remember hearing an interview with David Foster, the great producer David Foster, right? Worked with Celine Dion, with Whitney Houston,
All of
and
them. He worked with everybody.
Michael Bublé, and all of those things. I saw an interview with him one time that said, "Good is the enemy of great."
Sure.
So I think a lot of musicians kind of sometimes have this attitude of, it's good enough. No, it's just not, it's not just good, it's good enough, or it's amazingly adequate. It's like their achievement goals are relatively low. So good is the enemy of great. And I know that you practice a lot to be as well rehearsed and have all the stuff ingrained, knowing that when you perform live, it's not going to be a 100%.
Oh yeah, when I get through a gig, I'm like, woo, I remembered all my words. Well, except for that one spot where I actually sang the wrong words, but at least I didn't forget to sing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So guys that play their instruments should know their instruments, and singers should know their instrument, their voice, and using it properly, and knowing how to sing properly, and having good technique is a big key, don't you think, in singing really well? Yeah.
Breath. I remember my dad telling me it's all about the breath. He's like, there's 3 elements to singing: breath, and breath.
Well, they should
know.
What
do you mean, Dad?
They should know, all professional singers.
Is your pitch off? Probably because of your breath.
All right, let's wrap this up here in a couple more minutes. So last question for you.
Oh, no. Is it that one?
It is that one. You're looking at my notes. You're not supposed to be looking at my notes. Is it hard being married to a drummer?
Well, I don't know anything else.
You've
only
never
ever been married to a drummer.
Yes. You've only been married to me.
Yeah. I don't think so. But like I said, it's all I know. But growing up with parents who are musicians, I'm just used to
the chaos.
I don't know if it was chaos, because my mom didn't really. The only time I'd get dragged to something was when when I was little and we lived in New York, she'd have choir rehearsals, and sometimes I'd get dragged to the church for that. But usually our landlady would babysit me, and then. But then when we lived here, and she was in the Master Chorale, and she did operas. She was in the first opera at the Morrison Center.
Oh, wow.
She was in Carmen and a bunch of stuff. And I didn't, she would just go after her practices. And then there were tickets. I've got tickets for you to come. Oh, I have to.
So you've been...
But it was good. It was good education.
James Harrison says only when loading gear.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't only have to just load his gear. I have to help Jeff with his too.
So I gave you the experience necessary to help your drummer, Jeff.
Education to help Jeff.
Jeff, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Russ, you're welcome.
Now that Russ is there, I do more of just the cable stuff.
You're the cable roller
we have
person.
all our own little jobs that make it go fast. Like Adam takes care of like the antennas and the mains, and then when the guys are done, if we have lights, then they'll help with the lights and stuff. And I'm usually rolling up.
But let's get back to, is it hard to be married to me, the drummer?
To you or to a drummer?
Well, it's probably hard to be married to me.
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, I was putting you on the spot.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I don't think so.
Good. Well,
I mean, if I wasn't married to, I probably wouldn't be singing. If I wasn't married to you, I wouldn't be singing.
Well, there's a lot of things that would definitely make life different had certain things, played out the way they did. But
I've had some good mentors along the way, or encouragers, I should say, like Deb Mickles. If you guys know the Deb Mickles Gang band, Deb Mickles was at my church when I was just getting started. They needed somebody to do music for a first service, and the choir wasn't going to do the music for that service, so we were moving towards like a contemporary type thing. And here I am, like, I've got a shaker and I got my flute and I got my voice, and I don't know how that's going to work. And then a guy, Bob, was playing guitar, but Deb Mickles also played guitar and sang, and she taught me a lot, and she was really encouraging.
Well, Deb
And
had really good feel
then we
for
kind
music.
of went our separate ways with different churches, and
Yeah.
we went down to First Baptist, and then it was Susie Watkins and Gail John Bonine, and so they all really were encouraging.
Yeah. Um,
Nobody ever told me, you can't do that. I'd be like, I really want to learn the guitar. Great, do it.
yeah, I mean, we could do
Okay.
we could probably talk for hours, and we could do other shows on
Yeah.
different subjects. But so Kirby had a really good point. Is I've played guitar. I've played.
Yeah.
I think Kirby meant I've played with guitarists that
Yeah.
constantly speed up. Drummers somehow still get the blame. You're
Yeah.
too fast. You're too slow. You're too loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100% Kirby. Because like I mentioned a few minutes earlier, like the drummer has a lot of responsibility for tempo, but that doesn't mean that the rest of the band gets a free pass.
Yeah.
I think
You
I
need to
think
play
it's
to the drummer.
I think everybody in the band has to have really great tempo and timing
We
and
gotta listen,
responsibilities.
right?
You got to yeah,
listen.
and that comes down to listening and responding appropriately back and forth on what you're hearing, and it's not just four people happen to be on stage playing a song relatively at the same time. It's four people that become one living, breathing organism,
Yeah.
so to speak. That
That all hit the downbeat at the same time.
yeah, and it's
and it
not
doesn't
this
sound like a flam.
right. You don't want to sound like shoes in a dryer, right?
Oh gosh.
Or coins falling off the edge of a table. It's just like it's all really tight.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes a big difference.
yeah, and those discussions are important to have as a band to decide. Like I said, David Foster saying, "Well, good is the enemy of great." Well, how good or how great do you want your band to be? Everybody needs to sync up and be glued together.
Our high school band director asked a question the other day, and I still don't know what his purpose was. He was asking for a reason, but said, "What do you think of competition in music?" And
I love it.
like competing against each other. Well, I don't know. Like I had a sixth grade teacher who would always say everything's a competition. He'd say life is a competition.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, I mean, it's pretty much a fact, right? Like, if you're working a job, there's like, oh, are you gonna get? Even if you own your own business, it's a competition to get the job. It's a competition to get customers. It's like everything is a competition in some way. And I think musically, like, you don't necessarily have to be competing against other bands or other musicians. You are, whether you like it or not. But you should always be competing against yourself, or you're not going to get better.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, and that's kind of my attitude, especially like with the engineering stuff, is like, you listen to the last mix that you're done with and it's been released, and it's like, I want to do better than that. Like, that was good, but I still want to do better than that. I want to get to this level. I want to do so much more.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to do that. And like we've talked about, this past year we've gotten so derailed with our plans. With so many things and like tragic things. And I'm hoping 25 will be better, so that we can get back on track with our plans. But like we were supposed to start, when we did the drum covers, we were supposed to switch and move towards creating our own stuff, even just instrumentally, and and most of it was just so I can get better and like work on the music we do for like Taxi. And so
yeah,
I'm
well,
hoping
we started off
It's a
2024.
competition. It's a competition to get your songs into TV shows and into movies. And
we've had some serious derailments. We started off 2024 with the news of my mom's illness, and then she passed away the beginning of February, and then everything after that. So
you're trying to recover from that, catching up.
Yeah, so we had like a 3+ month delay in music. I cut everything out of my life that I was doing except for drum lessons. And then the beginning of August, I break my leg out of town, and that's going to be a 4+ month derailment. Luckily, still had, or fortunately, still had the ability to teach. But recording drums for people, I've been out of the loop, haven't been able to perform. So, yeah, 2024 has been a year of being stalled uh, in a lot of ways. So, we could keep this conversation going, but I think it's first of all, thank you for agreeing.
He had to really twist my arm.
It took a lot of convincing, ladies and gentlemen.
He's been asking me for like a year. You want to do it? You want to do it? I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, and people suggested having you on many times. It's really cool. I think Mary and I have something special. Both being full-time musicians who are married to each other. Mary's been a huge cheerleader for me through. We've been married just over 28 years. We've been together almost 30. We will be together 30 years in February, and even just being friends prior to that.
We've known each other since '92.
You were a big cheerleader for me and very supportive, and continue to be supportive. It's not always easy.
No.
Raising kids, and there's a lot of stuff that fell on Mary's shoulders, because I do think that my musical pursuit has a lot of selfishness attached to it. But I would like to have you on again. Maybe in a few months or whatever. Not again next week, but
I gotta do this again.
Yeah, you'll have to wake up at 6 and fix your hair, just like I do. I fix my hair, and then when I don't, I just wear a hat.
Oh,
but
I could have just worn a hat.
No.
And some
you're
sunglasses.
The singer. You could have worn sunglasses, but you're the singer for Casio Dreams. You can't. This is like being in public.
Okay.
Forever and ever. Thomas says, thanks for the awesome episode. I really enjoyed this one. Mark Grubert, cheers to 100. Fred, guests are a great addition. Can't wait to see who's next. Greg, at a particular level, your competition become your colleagues. Much respect to you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you, Greg, and I believe that you're correct in that. Yeah, definitely. Mary, thank you for joining me on Coffee with Fred, episode 100. And now that I've had a guest, I think this needs to be a thing at least once a month to have a guest on here.
Okay.
And I'll definitely have you on again at some point when I'm hard up for a guest.
Wow.
Just kidding. Just kidding. See, I always tap her on the shoulder like she's some pal, because she's my pal. So just a reminder, today is happy hour day all the day long.
Oh, yeah.
It's National French Dip
Ooh, the French
sandwich,
dip, yeah.
or National Pizza with everything on it. So I think that I'd like to buy you lunch today.
Will you actually pay?
No. You'll pay with my money. We should get a sandwich and a drink.
They don't serve drinks at that sandwich shop. You'd have to take it and go somewhere else.
Take the drink and go? A to-go cup? I don't think it works that way.